Hello everyone, I'm Dante and welcome to another Anthem update. Today we're breaking down the new Anthem gameplay series from Bioware, with somewhat of a focus on the lore elements uncovered, and to add some context if you're not up to speed with the current people and places of Anthem. Bioware recently released their first part in a series intended to introduce Anthem to a wider audience. This first installment gives a general recap but covers three main topics: story, progression, and customization. Usually I would cover all three of these and break down everything we learnt. However, if you've been following this channel for any length of time, much of this won't be new. And when it comes to explaining the basics of what a javelin is, I'd be hard pressed to beat what John Warner has already done. And if you want more information on javelins themselves, I already have a series for that. So today, we're going to be focusing on the story of Anthem. We saw some entirely new information in this video, all within the first 90 seconds. Including a massive update in terms of the villains and possible story for Anthem as a whole. So I'm going to do my best to break this down and tie it into the lore and story we already have for Anthem. The first thing I want to cover is right at the core of everything Anthem. It drives the story, has impacted the lore, and is the reason the world of Anthem exists in its current volatile form. The Anthem of Creation. By no means is this a new term, or just being sprung as a focal point. However, now we have some more context about what it is, and how the Dominion intend to use it. The Anthem of Creation is the primary relic left behind by the Shaper Gods, and I think Faye, Naveen, and Owen Corley, our ciphers, describe it best within the trailer.
The Anthem of Creation is everything. To control it is everything.
Okay, but what could he even do with it?
What could he do with the power of life and death, creation and destruction?
He would be a god.
It's the most powerful relic, and through some means, the Dominion has discovered how to control it, but we'll get back to that point in just a minute. The Anthem of Creation is the large twin structure here, that we often see crackling with lightning and other elements. Not only is it powerful, but it alters the landscape around it, making it the single most dangerous place on the planet Anthem takes place upon. As you can see from these images, the earth around it is cracked, exposing magma below that spouts out as molten lava, while the skies above crackle in and out of storms without warning. This area is known as the Heart of Rage, and this footage shows us that we'll be venturing there ourselves, along with some context as to why. So I think it's about time we talk about the biggest reveal here, the Dominion and the furthering of their plans to take control of the Anthem of Creation, with a couple of major points, building on their generic plan to take control of the Anthem to enslave, or in their mind save, humanity from itself. The first part of this is a new monologue from the Monitor.
Imagine all the good that we could do. We decide what's best for the world. The power of pure creation at our fingertips.
Doubling down on what we already know, but the location we find ourselves in, face to face with them, is somewhat interesting. This isn't like what we've seen before. This is an actual ruin, and this feels like a recruitment speech. Some nice throwbacks to Star Wars and ruling the galaxy together, placing it much earlier in the story than the last time we saw the Monitor, which I would suspect puts this early on in the campaign, likely a revelation to the first act, the setup of the primary villain and setting the objective for the first leg of the critical story. Which brings me on to an entirely new character. As far as I can see, this person doesn't have a name, but they are clearly very important, and I've got somewhat of a theory as to how they fit into the story and how they relate to the Monitor. The Dominion functions in a very similar way to the Freelancers, in that they also have javelin suits, so it would seem reasonable that they also have access to ciphers. We see this person activate what we are led to believe is a control point for the Anthem. Even though this could, and is likely misdirection, I'm going to run with it for now. Then, with the voiceover from Faye, we learn that control over the Anthem would effectively make you a god. What if the Monitor initially is the big bad, but something goes wrong in the plan, and his cipher absorbs the power and becomes a pseudo-shaper, powered by the Anthem itself, becoming the third act boss that we are against the clock to stop. I feel like this could go either way, but at least from what we know so far, seems plausible to me. Feel free to tell me how wrong I am in the comment section below, or any crazy theories you have for yourself. The third point I want to touch on when it comes to the Dominion is related to this image. This is certainly Fort Tarsis, and that looks a hell of a lot like a Shaper Storm being created right above it. Then cuts to a clip of the Dominion looking triumphant. But with trailer logic, this is likely a cut from two different scenarios, while still pointing out to those responsible, the Dominion. If Fort Tarsus really does come under attack by a Shaper Storm, the clear finger to point is at them gaining power off Anthem, which this trailer all but 100% confirms, especially when you combine it with the previous trailers. But the real question is, who specifically did it? Was it the Monitor, the Cypher, or something entirely different? That's not a question I'm able to answer just yet. It's fun to consider though. That's it for today's update. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, provide your thoughts and feedback about anything I've covered or this format below. You can support the channel by subscribing and using the bell to be notified of future content as it goes live. And until next time, I've been Dante, thanks for watching.